Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk about the color purple. Purple is a color that does show up in my paintings. It's not a prominent color that shows up in my paintings, but it is definitely a color that I use. I have a favorite purple, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this video today. It's a dioxazine purple, and I'm going to show you how I use it, the color combos that I use for it, and how much I absolutely enjoy it. But first, let's talk about this lovely lavender purple that I'm wearing. I found this sweater at a thrift shop. I absolutely love it. It's comfy, it's hitting all the spots. But I do something with color for myself that some of you may know, some of you may not know if you're just landing here. Hi. And I have had my colors done. Now, doesn't that sound just so 1980s? But there's a modern system now, and my daughter-in-law's aunt is one of the most beautifully put together people I've ever met, Joan. And I just observed her and I'm like, what is it about your aunt that she's just so put together? And my daughter-in-law is always also put together, always wearing what seems to be things that make her glow. And she said, oh, she's a color consultant with the Susan Cahill system. So anyway, long story short, I had my colors done. And what was interesting about it is that when I got my file, all of the colors that are on it show up in my paintings. And that was a fascinating thing to me. Although I don't have yellow on my palette, and I do use yellow, but interestingly, I find yellow one of the hardest colors to use for me. So color and your inherent color and your color choices when you're painting are very, very personal. So a lot of you ask me, what is the colors that you use? Why do you use that color? What is your color palette? And I'll tell you what's on my palette. I use golden, I use a cadmium red to start all my paintings. I use teals, and I use Liquitex, like teals. A lot of teals and turquoises show up. Interestingly, the color of my eyes and the color of the glasses that I use, those colors show up. I have this paint swatch or this color swatch thing that I go shopping with, and I only buy what is on there. If the color deviates, I'm not going to buy it. So let me show you the lavender that I have on my palette, and I've lost a few swatches but here it is, right? There it is. I've lost that one. I got to get a replacement. But there it is. So when I went I bought this thrifted. When I went to the thrift store and I saw this sweater, I pulled out my palette. It matched. I bought it. And my glasses are also on this palette. I mean, you don't want to spend a lot of time with me on this. I think they're on this one. So there they are, right? So if I buy anything on this palette, it most likely all goes together, and most wonderfully is it all goes with me. This is one of my favorite. It goes with my hair color. Anyway, let's get into dioxazine purple. But let's first talk about the meaning of purple. I just looked it up, so I'm going to be reading my computer here. The color purple is associated with a variety of meanings, including wisdom, creativity, royalty, power, ambition, and luxury. It can also represent magic, extravagance, peace, pride, independence, and wealth. Love all of that about purple. I have the hugest purple couch in my house, and if you look at the cover of this video, that's what I'm sitting on. And I just absolutely love the purple of it. Maybe I'll take a picture of the couch and I'll put it here and I'll show you my big purple couch. It's so fun. It fits the room really well. But let's go on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the paint, And then I'm gonna do some samples of some color mixing that I do. And that'll be the video for today. We're gonna highlight Dioxazine Purple by Golden. And it's not even a sponsored post, guys. I just love that color. So let's go try and do some samples. So here is the Dioxazine Purple that I use by Golden. I absolutely love it. I get it in this large 16 ounce or almost 500 ml container. It lasts a good long time because you don't need a whole lot of it. On my palette, it's this one, and it's so dark. Like, look how dark that is. Let me do a little trial for you. Let me just put it on the way it comes out. See how dark, absolutely how dark that is? Now, when I do a wash, if I was doing, you know, a thin wash, there's the Dioxazine. Gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful. You can see why they say it's royal, that beautiful color. But here's some of my favorite combos. I like to use a teal. So I haven't even washed my brush. I'm just picking up a little bit of this teal and I'm gonna paint in. And it creates a beautiful, absolutely beautiful periwinkle. Do you agree? Isn't that gorgeous? I absolutely love, I've had to step away, so now it is dried a little bit. I love the periwinkle blue that is created with Dioxazine. So here's another, my Dioxazine dried, so I'm adding some more. And I'm gonna do a dark turquoise. And here's the dark turquoise added. Here it is. Here's the dark turquoise added to the Dioxazine. Let me move my camera. Sorry for all the jiggly. And then we'll pull that up and you'll get a wash of it. And that is just a beautiful blue as well. You know what? I'm gonna do the Dioxazine with a little bit of white for you. So we're gonna get a tint of the Dioxazine. I never could say it. I never could say it. It was really hard. So there's a tint. And then I'm gonna put a little more of the purple down, and I'm gonna do a titanium white, which is an unbleached white. No, I'm gonna do an unbleached white versus the titanium. Just a slightly different, warmer purple. Okay, what else are my favorite things to show you? Oh yeah, the absolute favorite thing I like to do. So here's the purple. I used to love to use a quinacridone burnt orange, but they discontinued a quinacridone burnt orange. So now I'm just using the nickel glaze or a burnt sienna. This makes the most gorgeous, like look at that. The most gorgeous, I'm gonna add a little bit more purple. Darks, if you could imagine, for crevices in rocks. So usually when I'm painting rocks, I paint the darks first, and then I'll come in and I'll do, you know, the highlight of a rock over top, using browns and creams. And I love the dark that the Dioxazine and the burnt sienna creates for things like painting rocks. So as I said, I don't use piles of it. I do use it a lot in my rocks, but I don't use piles and piles of it. Let's see about another combo. Here's Here's the straight up Dioxazine, and I'm gonna use an Indian yellow with it. And I think we're gonna get a really neat brown. See that? See how gorgeous that is? It just creates, when you start mixing your colors one with each other, it creates a harmonious color balance and makes them all relate to each other. So, all right, is there anything else I really want to share about the Dioxazine? Okay, maybe a little bit of Dioxazine back in the middle. And I'm gonna add some green gold. Let's just see what happens. See, it warms up that green gold. I don't know if you're seeing it as well, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. So my favorite is with the teal and the turquoise. It just gives me rich, rich, rich colors. The Dioxazine on its own is a little too cool for me. I like a bit of a warmer palette, so mixing it with those teals and turquoises, but I keep saying my favorite, but really I do love a Dioxazine with a burnt orange. And if you do my technique where I don't mix completely, it gives kind of striations and streaks, building your rocks for you. So I hope that that gave you some inspiration to try this particular color. So other purples mixed with other colors, obviously you're going to make a whole bunch of difference to you. If you don't use Dioxazine purple and you use a violet and you mix that with a different shade of teal from a different brand of paint, you're going to get your unique colors. What I'm challenging you here is for you to use your own color sense, make your own blends, and figure out what your unique color palette is. Like my color palette of what I wear is unique to me. The designer, the color consult, she figured out my color, my eye color, my hair color, my skin color, and created a palette that's unique to me. Your palette, when you're painting, is unique to you too. So I obviously, you can ask me anything. You can ask me what color I used for this or that. That's great. But I want you to do a lot of experimenting and I'll have a lot of fun and figure out what feels right to you. If you use colors on your painting and you're like, ugh, it's just because there's an innate color sense that you have and you don't like it. You can eliminate that from your palette. Have a great day. We'll see you in the next video.